Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, June 2022. Cancer, what can I say? Mercury starts turning direct in your 11th house on June the 3rd. And because Mercury is square Saturn, a difficult planet, while it's turning direct, the first week can still be a bit complicated and things can be a bit slow, especially in regards to gains, because Mercury is turning direct in your 11th house, in regards to friendships, in regards to business matters, in regards to social networking. There might be still some culling happening there, revising your contacts, who you want in your circle, what information you want to come to you through social media sources as well. And if there's some delays with business, with matters regarding friendships and long-term goals of some sort, they start getting resolved from, or income as well, they start getting resolved after the first week of June. Then at the same time that Mercury is turning direct, Saturn is turning retrograde in your 8th house. This has happened 2 times in the last 2 years. Saturn turns retrograde for around 4 or 5 months. So that will be a long influence for 5 months. And that's the last time I think Saturn turns direct in your 8th house. And that's kind of like digging deep again into your subconscious. And you can notice things slowing down a little bit and starting to reevaluate matters of relationships, because Saturn rules your 7th house. Saturn of intimacy, Saturn is in the 8th house. Reevaluating some old experiences and old hurts possibly that closed you to trusting others, that closed you to allowing yourself um, close contact with others. Certain fears, 8th house is very much connected about deep fears, and the ultimate fear is fear of death. The 8th house rules those things, but there are also fears of abandonment, of rejection, especially connected to more intimate or personal relationships with others. And you will be reconsidering such topics, digging deep, maybe, chewing them over in your mind, especially strongly now during the retrograde, the initial phases of the retrograde. Some of you can really dig deep into your psychological subconscious over the next few months, starting now, and have slow, not immediate results, but slow release of toxic energy. And I say the 8th house is like our shadow side, so kind of battling with your inner demons and shadow side and fears and anything that kind of has more power and control over you. Is it an obsession? Is it specific fear? Is it a person in particular? Something that you're fearful around, that you're or subject, not only a person. And you're struggling with, and you're dealing with and digging deep, maybe working with a good psychologist or an occultist or an astrologer or energy worker and healer, can give but slow results. It's not going to be immediate. Plus, 8th house is penetrating into other having like sudden healings. These are slowed down with Saturn. They've been slowed down for the last 2 years. But when Saturn starts moving direct, and by the beginning of next year moves into your 9th house, you can have like some really deep healing and some really big overcoming of trauma and a fear and an obsession of some sort and a psychological blockage. But even if you think it's progressing very slowly now, don't worry. Saturn is doing a deep cleaning that even you might not be aware clearly, consciously by. Saturn is the cleaner, deep cleaning that is happening. And Saturn cleans in tiny small pieces, so you might not feel immediate relief and detachment from something that has control over you, but the process is continuing for the next 5 months, especially intensely. And 8th house wants to allow you to detach from things that are holding you slave, holding you a captive almost of yourself or of outer external experiences. Plus, it can mean deepening of matters regarding reworking something regarding your mutual finances and resources with your partner, rebudgeting, changing the budgeting plan if you have a business partner with in partnership with someone, reorganizing the finances regarding to how you, and streamlining it and making it more efficient, more simple, more organized, your mutual finance, but also limiting. You might hopefully you do it yourself, that you limit your own finances, your own spending, your own mutual finance and spending with a partner, and rebudget a business partner, personal partner, business venture, because 8th house has direct connection to clients' money, for example, and it might be limited in some way, but at the same time, you do a better job by restructuring it there to make it more functional, better organized. Or you might be dealing with issues regarding, and of course, when Saturn is in a financial house, finances can be a little bit restrictive. Maybe you're saving together with a partner to buy a property, or maybe you're saving together with a business partner to do something with the business, or maybe it's an external limitation imposed on you. Maybe your partner's finances not as easy, are more in a more difficult spot, so that's affecting you as well in some way. So the retrograde period can intensify such matters. And on another level, it can indicate working through some sexual blockages and digging deep into this. On another level, it can indicate working extra hard on taxes, restructuring there, dealing with some issues, trying to fix it, or insurances or inheritances, and such matters that require extra effort. That's Saturn retrograde. And approaching them from a different, approaching such matters from a different perspective. Saturn retrograde will give you a different perspective of anything connected to 8th house matters, to past traumas, to infidelities, to distrust in others, to intimacy, to mutual financing resources, and so on. Then Mercury is moving into your 12th house around June the 14th. That can be good for some communications with foreign people, digging, reading in more mysteries, finding out some secrets, reading about more spiritual topics, maybe even some trips to more unfamiliar places. Spending on Mercury things, books, knowledge, courses. But Mercury will be in its own sign, so it will be something that you're happy with. If you take a trip, for example, or establishing contacts with foreign people or faraway places, for example. But this will be positive because Mercury is in its own sign. In June the 14th, we have a full moon in your 6th house. You can find some escalation of a career matter. You see the results of some work project, for example, or you reach the rope. A full moon can be something coming to completion. Reach the rope of some job and you're ending it, completing it. 6th house can also ask you to pay attention to your health, maybe to see the results of some health changes you've done in the past, or to see the results of unhealthy things that you've been doing, and it escalates and it triggers it for you. So be careful around the last 2 weeks with health in particular. You can have some awareness about and clarity. Full moon illuminates what you have to do in regards to some health routine, some health issue. But there is like a lot of energy put also at work and seeing results with that. And then Venus makes a series of aspects with Uranus and Rahu, which are new energies of new in your 11th house, around June the 11th, 19th. So new people can appear in your life, more exciting, especially friends in social environment. You can do some exciting networking, some exciting social connections, some exciting venues where many people gather with like-minded ideas. But then there is a little bit for some exciting new sources of income that can appear. 11th house also rules that you get, some exciting followers or clients that you reach out to. But there might be also some snag that you meet there, some disappointment, because Saturn, towards the end of this period, the 19th of June, squares Venus. But after that, Venus starts making only good aspects, so things improve quickly in that area. Or it might be like opening yourself to new contacts while removing some old ones. And in your social environment, And then Venus moves into Gemini from June 23rd. Nothing dramatic, can be a wonderful time for pleasant excursions in foreign places, enjoying private pleasures, indulging more in hidden vices, spending on things like beauty, like indulging pleasures, fine wines, whatever. Maybe spending on a holiday in a faraway places. If you go to a foreign place when Venus is in your 12th house from June 23rd to middle of July might be really enjoyable and pleasant. Even some secret romance can form, or just can be just kind of flow very nicely. So thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this month, Cancers.